The sharp knock on the bathroom door jolted me from my frantic pumping session. Milk spilling over my trembling hands as I stared at the locked handle. Heart pounding like a drum in a storm. "Alex, you okay in there? You've been locked up for hours," came Jake's deep voice. My alpha roommate whose sin alone could unravel me. And in that moment, I knew my carefully guarded secret was teetering on the edge of exposure. Panic surged through me. He found out about my lactating body. A rare omega trait I'd hidden since moving to this bustling New York City apartment. Everything could shatter. Or worse, ignite into something I both feared and craved. I wiped my hands hastily on a towel, stuffing the pump into my backpack as I cracked the door open just enough to peek out. Jake stood there, his broad shoulders filling the frame, concern etching his rugged features under the hallway light. We'd been roommates for 6 months now, ever since I answered his Craigslist ad for a shared loft in Brooklyn. Desperate to escape my conservative Midwest family who never understood my omega dynamics. Jake was the epitome of an easygoing alpha tall, with tousled dark hair, piercing blue eyes, and a laugh that could melt steel. He worked as a graphic designer, always sketching late into the night, while I hustled as a barista in Manhattan, grinding through shifts to afford my hormones and suppressants. But lately, my body had betrayed me. The lactation started unexpectedly after a stressful heat cycle, a side effect no doctor warned me about. I'd been binding my chest tighter, wearing baggy hoodies even in the summer swelter, excusing my frequent bathroom breaks as stomach issues. Jake never pried, but his lingering glances during movie nights made my pulse race, stirring forbidden thoughts. That evening, as the city lights flickered through our window, I emerged from the bathroom, forcing a smile. Yeah, just indigestion again. Pizza last night was a bad idea. He chuckled, clapping my shoulder with a warmth that sent sparks down my spine. Dude, you gotta stop with the cheap takeout. Let me cook tonight's steak tacos. My specialty. I nodded, grateful for the distraction. But as we moved to the kitchen, I felt a damp spot forming on my shirt. Cursing inwardly, I excused myself to change, heart hammering. How long could I keep this up? In the Omegaverse world we navigated where alphas dominated boardrooms and omegas like me fought for equality in a society still rife with stereotypes me condition felt like a vulnerability I couldn't afford. Yet, Jake's presence was a constant temptation, his alpha pheromones wrapping around me like a comforting fog, making me wonder if he felt the pull too. Days blurred into a tense routine. Mornings, I'd wake before dawn to pump in secret. The rhythmic whir of the device my only companion as Jake snored in the next room. Afternoons brought relief at work, slinging lattes to harried commuters. But evenings were torture. We'd share beers on the fire escape, overlooking the Brooklyn Bridge, talking about everything from his failed art school dreams to my aspirations of becoming a writer. You're hiding something, Alex, he said one night, his voice low under the stars. I froze, beer halfway to my lips. What do you mean? He leaned closer, his scent intoxicating musk and pine. Pure alpha allure. You seem guarded. Like there's more to you than the quiet barista. I laughed it off. But inside, turmoil brewed. That night, as I lay in bed, milk leaking despite my efforts, I ached not just physically but for connection, for someone to see me fully without judgment. The breaking point came on a rainy Friday. A power outage hit our building during a thunderstorm, plunging the apartment into darkness. I was mid-pump when the lights died, the device stalling with a pathetic whine. Panic set in. I fumbled for my phone's flashlight, but the battery was low. Milk soaked my binder, the scent sweet and unmistakable wafting into the air. Jake burst into the living room, candles in hand. "Alex, you good?" His nostrils flared, eyes widening as he caught the aroma. Time slowed. I tried to hide, bundling the pump away, but he stepped closer, his expression shifting from worry to realization. "What's that smell?" "It's you." His voice was hushed, not accusatory, but laced with curiosity. I backed against the wall, tears stinging. "Jake, please. Don't." But he didn't recoil. Instead, he reached out, his hand gentle on my arm. "Show me. Whatever it is. I'm here." In that candlelit moment, vulnerability crashed over me like the rain outside. I peeled off my shirt, exposing the swollen, leaking chest that marked me as an anomalous omega. Milk trickled down, warm and embarrassing. But Jake's gaze held no disgust, only awe and something deeper. A hunger that mirrored my own. "Alex, why hide this? It's beautiful." His words shattered my defenses. We talked through the night, thunder rumbling as I confessed my fear-soft rejection of being seen as weak in a world where omegas were often sidelined. Jake shared his own secrets, a past relationship with another alpha that left him questioning his role, a desire for genuine bonds beyond societal norms. As dawn broke, he pulled me close, his lips brushing mine in a kiss that ignited every suppressed longing. It was heated, urgent, our bodies responding in the primal Omegaverse way, but laced with tenderness that promised more. Our secret unfolded in whispers and stolen touches. Mornings now included Jake helping with the pump, his hands steady and reverent, turning a source of shame into intimacy. "You're not broken, Alex," he'd murmur, kissing my neck as relief washed over me. Evenings became explorations, lazy dinners, turning into passionate nights where he'd taste the milk directly, his alpha instincts protective yet equalizing. In bed, he'd trace my scars from old binders, whispering affirmations that rebuilt my shattered self-worth. "This is us, our heated secret," he'd say, and I'd melt into him, feeling seen for the first time. But secrets have a way of straining under pressure. One weekend, Jake's ex, a domineering alpha named Mark, showed up unannounced, banging on the door during a vulnerable moment. I was shirtless, milk expressing naturally as Jake held me, when Mark forced his way in after Jake answered. "What the hell is this?" Mark sneered, eyes raking over me with disdain. "You're slumming it with a leaking omega." "Pathetic." Jake's fury erupted. He shoved Mark back, defending me with a ferocity that shook the room. "Get out. Alex is more than you'll ever understand." The confrontation escalated into shouts, Mark hurling slurs about omegas being defective, echoing the prejudices I'd fled. I intervened, voice steady despite my fear. "This isn't about labels, Mark. It's about love." Jake stood by me, his hand in mine, as we forced Mark out, the door slamming like a final barrier. In the aftermath, we collapsed together, adrenaline fading into raw emotion. "I can't hide anymore," I admitted, tears flowing. Jake cupped my face. "Then don't." Let's make this real out in the open. His proposal wasn't just words. The next day, he dragged me to a local Omega rights rally in Central Park, where we marched hand in hand. My chest bound, but my spirit free. Strangers cheered, sharing stories of their own struggles, reminding us we weren't alone in America's evolving landscape of acceptance. As weeks turned to months, our bond deepened. Jake incorporated my experiences into his art, creating illustrations that celebrated Omega bodies in all forms, selling prints that funded advocacy groups. I started writing openly about my journey, my blog gaining traction among young LGBT folks navigating Omegaverse dynamics. Challenges arose, whispers at work, judgmental stares on the subway, but each hurdle strengthened us. One night, under the same fire escape stars, Jake knelt with a simple ring. "Alex, will you be my mate?" Not in secret, but forever. My yes was a sob of joy, milk leaking from overwhelming emotion, which he kissed away without hesitation. Our wedding was small, in a Brooklyn garden, surrounded by friends who'd become family. Vows exchanged spoke of hidden pains turning to shared strengths, of love defying norms. As we danced, I realized the true meaning. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the seed of profound connection. In embracing my body, I'd found not just acceptance, but a partner who turned my secret into our greatest truth. Yet, life tested us further. A year into marriage, my lactation intensified during a pregnancy scare, false alarm. But it unearthed deeper fears. What if we want kids? I whispered one evening in our now shared bedroom. The city hum below. Jake held me, his alpha presence grounding. Then we'll face it together. Adopt. Surrogate, whatever. You're enough as you are. His words healed old wounds, fostering dreams we'd once buried. Professionally, doors opened. My writing landed a book deal, Leaking Secrets, and Omega's journey to self-love. Jake's art complemented it, exhibitions drawing crowds who praised our authenticity. But fame brought backlash, online trolls spewing hate, accusing us of perverting Omegaverse norms. One viral thread targeted my condition, calling it unnatural. Hurt cut deep. But Jake's support was unwavering. "They're scared of what they don't understand," he'd say, pulling me into embraces that reaffirmed our worth. Through therapy, we unpacked traumas, my family's rejection, his ex's toxicity. Sessions in a cozy Manhattan office revealed how hiding had isolated me, while Jake admitted suppressing his nurturing side to fit alpha stereotypes. "Loving you freed me," he confessed, tears in his eyes. Our intimacy evolved, nights of passion blended with quiet talks, milk sharing becoming a ritual of trust, symbolizing nourishment in every sense. Community became our anchor. We volunteered at LGBT centers, mentoring young Omegas facing similar stigmas. One teen, Tim, mirrored my past, hiding his traits in fear. Sharing our story, we watched him bloom, his first proud steps echoing ours. "You showed me it's okay to leak," he joked, hugging us. Those moments underscored the human value. Love ripples outward, challenging prejudices. As seasons changed, so did we. A cross-country road trip to visit my estranged parents in Ohio tested resolve. Pulling up to the familiar farmhouse, nerves churned. My mom opened the door, shock turning to tears as I introduced Jake. "We've come a long way," I said, voice steady. Dinner was tense, old arguments resurfacing. But Jake's calm defense, Alex is the strongest person I know, cracked walls. By night's end, tentative hugs hinted at reconciliation, proving love's persistence. Back in New York, we adopted a rescue dog, Max, whose playful energy filled our home with laughter. Mornings now included walks in Prospect Park. Hands linked. Milk managed openly with Jake's help. Our heated secret became our power. I'd muse, leaning into him. The climax of our journey came at a national LGBT conference in San Francisco. Invited as speakers, we shared our tale to a packed auditorium. Hiding my body taught me shame. I began, voice echoing. But revealing it to Jake taught me love. Applause thundered as Jake joined me, kissing my cheek. In our Omegaverse world, let's rewrite the rules together. Exiting the stage, a young couple approached, eyes shining. Your story saved us, they said. In that instant, the drama of our past crystallized into purpose, from hidden pain to open hearts. We'd forged a legacy of empathy. Years later, as we watched the sunset from our balcony, gray streaking our hair, Jake squeezed my hand. Worth every drop, he whispered. I smiled. Milk long ceased, but memories eternal. Our secret, once heated and hidden, had bloomed into a life of profound meaning, proof that in America's tapestry of diversity, love conquers all, one vulnerable truth at a time.